creating, launching, and scaling about 45 courses to more than 80,000 students across the whole world, I can almost guarantee you that the fastest, easiest, and most painless way to increase the value and potentially price of your course by at least 15 to 20%, depending on who you're targeting, is to actually distribute and issue premium course certificates to people who enroll. And this doesn't even apply only to courses. You can issue certificates for webinars, training programs, workshops. And if you think about it, issuing course certificates, yes, it might be the simplest thing ever. And in this video, I'm going to show you like how to do this in less than like 10 minutes, how to literally send thousands of certificates if you want to in less than 10 minutes. It might be the easiest thing for us course creators. But if you think about it, it makes absolute sense for these certificates to exponentially increase the value of your course because it really taps down to the psychology of the student itself. Someone who enrolls in a course, in a training program, wherever, right? He wants to be transformed from point A to point B. He wants to become this point B person, right? And he's currently on point A. He's experiencing pain, right? And with your certificate, you pretty much certify the fact that he has now been transformed, right? He has achieved this desired outcome of his, right? The student. Now, here's the problem. Issuing course certificates, creating course certificates, especially if you have like multiple students like myself, it's a very time-consuming process, or it used to be like a very time-consuming process. Imagine every time that someone enrolls in a course of yours, you need to input their name and their email and create their certificate and create the PDF and go ahead and send it over. So this, yes, it is a very time-consuming process, or at least it was a very time-consuming process. So let me show you actually the new way to automatically create course certificates, which by the way, look like super professional. They look dope, and you can actually send them out in bulk, right? Automatically, without you doing anything. In the next 5 minutes, you're gonna figure out exactly how to create course certificates and how to send them automatically to all of your students once and for all. So this right here is the magic software that we're going to be using, right? It's called Certifier. And just look at how easily you can literally go ahead and create a course certificate. Now, let's say, for example, that someone enrolled in a course of mine, which is called the Content Creator Masterclass. We would go on this menu right here, which by the way, you can see like the automations you can create, the integrations. You can integrate Certifier to multiple learning management systems and other websites. You can see analytics of people who have downloaded your certificates, who has downloaded your certificates. You can send email automations. And of course, you can actually go ahead and design the certificates themselves. So let's click on designs. And if we click on create design, right? And this is going to be a certificate design, we will be redirected in this create a design page. And this pretty much works exactly like Canva, right? So the feature of the certificate creation is super similar to Canva. You have all of your templates right here, and we can choose a template from styles or categories. So for example, category is going to be a course certificate or a completion certificate, a webinar, a training, recognition, achievement. So let's say that it's going to be a course certificate. We apply the filters. So now the templates of the certificates are narrowed down to course, again, certificates. You can click on style. Let's say, for example, that I want a modern style of certificate. And we have these regarding course certificates with modern style. So let's click on this one. You can pretty much tweak everything inside of the certificate. You can choose your website. But the cool thing here is that, again, this automatic certificate creation, that you don't need to issue these for every single person that enrolls to your course. As you can see, if I hover my mouse above the recipient name, you can see that we don't need to actually input a name every time that we issue a new certificate, because this will dynamically change every time that someone completes our course and this certificate is issued. So we do not change the name. This is, again, a dynamic attribute. So let's say that we add our logo here, we add the professors, right? Or we change or we delete everything that we don't want, right? And we actually create the design itself. And now that the certificate is actually created, it is time to proceed to the group setup. So now we have been redirected in the actual group setting, in which we're going to be just inputting more information about the occasion of the certificate. So let's say, for example, that this was a masterclass on content creation. right? This is the certificate right here. We can also add designs if we want to distribute different certificates on each occasion, right? The type, again, it was a course. It was a foundational course, let's say, of content creation. It was online, let's say it was paid. And I'll also add the skills of content marketing, content repurposing, content strategy, content development. Yeah, we could use these. Now, regarding the description of, let's say, the content creation masterclass that we create, we can add this description in this live masterclass, and these learn the core foundations of content creation from planning and scripting to filming and editing. Let's say, again, for the purpose of this demonstration right here. And of course, you can also add the earning criteria, right? So earning criteria to showcase the specific requirements to earn this reward right here. So let's say, for example, that in order to receive this certificate, you need to complete an assignment, and you can also add the link of the assignment and the description of the assignment. We're not going to add any earning criteria for now. So now we created the group for this certificate to be issued. And if we want, we can actually go ahead and click here to preview the certificate itself. And once the certificate is issued and is being sent like to all of the students that have enrolled, students will receive an email that they can share the award, they can add it to their LinkedIn profile, or like completely download it, or they can actually go ahead and verify the credential itself, right? You can see that it's issued, let's say, to Joe Doe, which is a test name. And again, they can take different actions from this page, right? So you can see that the information that we added in the group setting is distributed here. It's again a course, foundational level, online, duration, price, the description, the skills that they learned, and the certificate itself. And just like that, the certificate is done and can be distributed to all of these people. Now, if you want inside of Certifier, you can actually add more information in your certificates. Like, for example, you can add the issuer information. In this case, it's LAMS Group, so you can add a description of your organization that issues the certificate. Or if you want to enrich the credential, again, you can choose and tweak again the settings. It's a foundational level or intermediate level, or you can change the format in the about section, the description, or you can paste another link here in which people will be redirected to after they have downloaded the certificate. Or again, you can choose to change the earning criteria of the certificate itself. You can customize the branding by adding logos, right? Favicons, banners to the certificate itself, or if you want to change the colors, let's say, of the certificate. And you can also actually create and host your certificates on a custom domain. So let's say, for example, that you have an institution and you want this to be as professional as possible. You can literally provide a custom domain again to host your credentials on if you don't want to host them from Certifier itself. And again, once the certificate is done, designed, created, and we also created the group around, again, who is issuing the certificate, on the group section inside of Certifier, we can start issuing credentials. And you can do this by actually either adding the name and details of the recipients manually or just uploading them via a spreadsheet if you want to do this, again, on bulk. So let's say that you want to add recipients manually, you choose the group name, you click that you have the right, of course, to use the personal data of these people, and you start adding recipients. So again, in order to issue the certificates, you need a name and you need the email, obviously, of the people who will be receiving the certificates themselves. So let's say, for example, that we're adding my name and my email. You see that it's valid. So the next step is to actually preview the certificate itself before you send it over. So this will be how the certificate looks like, right? You can choose the issue date here, the expiration date, issue credentials. And before you send out the credential, right, you can choose if you want to schedule it for later or issue it immediately, or if you want to email it to the person, or if you don't want to email it to the person. And again, you can also do this in bulk. So you can do this for 100 people at the same time, like 200 people at the same time. Not to mention that you can also set up automations to automatically create an issue certificate based on the course that has been completed by these people. So let's say issue immediately. And just like that, this certificate has now been sent to my email. So now we're done from our end. We have created, we have issued, and we have sent out our certificate. And you can also actually measure the engagement of the credential. So you can check out if the credential was opened, if the credential received an engagement, or if it was, for example, added also to the LinkedIn profile of this person. And this is pretty much how you can literally create and automatically distribute as many certificates as you want for your programs and for your courses in bulk, right? Without you needing to do any manual tasks. If you want more information about this awesome software that we use to issue the certificate, you can check out the first link in the description, and I'm gonna see you in the next video.